Something that we get regularly asked about on Ask GMBN is how you might tackle blind corners. Blind corners are those that when you come into the entrance, you can't actually see the exit, the trail ahead of you, or where you're going to go. So this is our guide on how to tackle blind corners. So the first thing that you want to think about when you're coming up to blind corners is what kind of corner it actually is. Now this one here is a full 180-degree sweep and bend, but you have got quite a lot of support. And what I am noticing coming into it is the fact that you have two options. You can go inside or you can go on the outside. Now, if you actually go on the inside, the big problem with it is that you're making it more blind. You can't see where the corner actually ends for a lot longer. Whereas if I step onto the outside line right here, already I can see that it really opens up the turn. I've got more space to move the bike around, and I can see that exit of the turn, which is going to allow me to lean the bike over, straighten it back up a little bit sooner, and be heading into the next section with more time to think about what's coming up ahead. Coming into the turn, this is your braking zone, as you can see from the braking bumps down there. So you want to just be sort of using the brakes quite aggressively, making sure the bike is almost sort of vertical in the air, and you're just using those center knobs of the tire to really dig in and slow you down. So when you get to this point, you almost want to just be feathering those brakes to slow you down. And then you're in the corner, and that's when you want to be leaning the bike over. You don't want to be heavy braking here, because then the tire is doing two jobs at once. You're braking and you're also cornering. You just want to be using those corner edges, making sure that all the force is on them, so you can push them round into the ground. You've got grip. You actually push all the way around the turn, and then you want to start looking ahead and exiting that turn into the next section. Walking into this section, if you've got an untrained eye, then you won't notice the fact that there is a bit of a high line here. It's a little bit of a cheeky one to get onto. You've really got to sort of push into the bike, let it unweight, and that's going to push you up to get right onto this dirt up here. You're going to come all the way around. It's going to open that turn up massively for you, which is just going to allow you to carry your flow a little bit more. You can actually lean the bike over. You can come into this next section. You almost get a pedal stroke in just before it drops away, and this is a massive advantage for blind corners. It makes them just that bit easier. One of the hardest challenges about blind turns is actually linking them together. And I've got one big key pointer for you right here, and it is looking ahead. And what I mean by this is actually looking straight ahead, not down at the tire in front of you. You want to be identifying things like line choices, where you can set up, and key braking zones. By doing all of this, you're really going to be able to flow in the bike a lot better and carry the maximum amount of momentum. Woo! Well, that was a rip. Trail out a ton of blind turns, and hopefully those tips will help you as well. And if you want to watch some more videos from GMBN, you can click just down there for Cornering the Comprehensive Guide. And perhaps you want to know a bit more about how to set up high. Click just down there. And of course, that big red logo somewhere, it's subscribe. And by clicking on that, you'll get a great video every day of the week.